Okay, I'm going to read to you the first part of this text. We'll stop at page 14. What Are Waves? By Heather Hudak. What are waves? Have you ever seen a flag flapping at the top of a pole? You can watch as the wind makes waves across the fabric. Maybe you have seen waves on a body of water, such as a lake. Boats rise and fall as they bob over the waves. These are just a few kinds of waves. Did you know there are also many other types of waves that you cannot see? Some waves make the sounds we hear or the colors we see. In this caption, we see waves in water are often created by wind. They are a type of wave that we can see. Waves are everywhere. Whether or not you can see them, waves are all around us. In fact, they are part of almost everything we do. We use waves to talk to people. Waves bring us the sights and sounds we see on television or hear on the radio. Some waves even help us cook food or send text messages. These are just a few kinds of waves. Light waves are rays or beams of energy that you can see with your eyes. Sound waves are made when an object vibrates. They carry sounds to our ears. Other waves we can feel. They create heat or cause the ground to shake. A wave is a disturbance that happens over and over again in a regular pattern. A disturbance is an action that interrupts something from its rest position. For example, we can cause water to move up and down from its still position. The waves carry the energy from the wind from one point to another as it moves. Energy in waves. Energy is the power needed to do work. We need it to cook food or light a room. We even need it to go for a walk or ride a bike. There are many different forms of energy. Once energy is made, it does not disappear. It just changes from one form to another. Imagine you are riding a bike. You use a form of energy in your body to pedal. As you move your legs, the energy from your body transfers to the bike to get it moving. The energy takes on a different form. In this way, energy passes from one object to another. Energy moves from one place to another in waves. Feel the force. To create a wave, a force is needed to create a disturbance. Force is the push or pull on an object that happens when it interacts with another object. Applying a force to an object can make the object move, change direction, or change shape. Waves are created by a force. When a force acts on an object, such as water, it creates a disturbance. It causes the water to move up and down in the form of a wave as energy passes through it. When the force stops, the energy moving through the water stops too. As the energy runs out, the waves in the water stop moving. So you might have played with a slinky before, and here's a quick example to get you thinking. If you had a slinky and you could stretch it from one end to the other and shake it in one hand, what would happen? How does the motion of the slinky relate to waves, energy, and force? If you're imagining that, if you shook one end of a slinky, that wave would travel to the other end of the slinky. Wave motion and patterns. When a ball flies through the air or a car speeds down a highway, it is in motion. Motion is what happens when something moves to a new place or position. All waves are in motion. Waves move in a regular pattern. A pattern is something that happens over and over again. A wave has a repeating pattern of highs and lows. There are two basic types of wave motion, transverse and longitudinal. Transverse waves. Have you ever seen people do the wave at a sports game? One person stands up just as the next person sits down, and the wave goes around the stadium. This is an example of a transverse wave. The high point of a transverse wave is called a crest. The low point of a wave is called a trough. Here's the transverse wave. A longitudinal wave. Imagine standing side by side with a few of your friends. What would happen if you lightly bumped the person next to you with your shoulder? That person would wobble into the next person, and so on. This is similar to the way a longitudinal wave moves. Longitudinal waves move horizontally, so in this direction, or back and forth. Sometimes the waves are close together. This is called compression. Compression is similar to the crest of a transverse wave. Other times, the waves are spread out. This is called rarefaction. It is similar to the trough of a transverse wave. Waves in water. Have you ever tried skipping rocks on a lake? When the rock hits the water, it makes a wave. The wave pushes against the water to make another wave, and so on. You can see the waves ripple outward in a circle from the place where the rock landed. After a while, the waves lose their energy and the water stills. A wave in water is a disturbance in a medium. A medium is the substance or material that carries energy. In the example above, the medium is the water, and the rock causes the disturbance. The rock being skipped across the water is a force that creates energy. The waves carry or transmit energy away from the disturbance. Wind, water, and waves. Wind causes most of the waves we see in bodies of water, such as oceans and lakes. The wind causes a disturbance in the water as it blows across the surface. The waves move in the same direction the wind blows. Wind is the movement of air. It is a force of energy. When it comes in contact with water, energy travels from the air to the water. This creates a wave. Similar to the rock example, one wave pushes against another wave to make even more waves. Waves cause the water to move up and down as the energy passes through it. The water itself does not move forward. It is only the energy that moves with the waves. When the water stills, it simply drops in the same place it was before the wind started blowing. What do waves have in common? All waves move in a similar motion with regular patterns of highs and lows. Think about the waves in water. Each one has a crest and a trough. All waves share the same basic properties. Properties are qualities that things have, such as size, speed, and power. The properties of waves include amplitude, wavelength, and frequency. We can use these properties to observe and measure wave patterns. Take a look at this diagram showing each of the common properties of waves. So the amplitude is the height of a wave from its rest point to the crest or the trough. So I'm looking at the start of the wave here. It can be the point here at the bottom or the point here all the way at the top. That's the amplitude. The frequency is how often the wave crests or troughs in a certain period of time. So how many times this wave would go up and down in a certain period of time is frequency. And the wavelength is the distance from one point on a wave to the same point on the next wave. So usually it's measured from crest to crest up here. These properties can help us identify similarities and differences in wave patterns. Even though all waves have the same properties, waves of the same type can differ in these properties. This is how we hear different sounds or see different colors. All right, I'll read this section of the book for you tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.